Welcome back to Yield Today with Dallin, Candland. It is 2023 now. Kind of crazy. There's so many things I want to put out into the world, podcast episodes and stuff like that. But honestly, I'm pretty tired. I played basketball today by myself in the snow. I did some dancing. I did some juggling. I did some LinkedIn. I did some writing. I did a ton of stuff today. It's 5 p.m. and I feel very accomplished. And I'm like, I don't want to record 50 podcast episodes right now. Probably just going to do this one because that's a W. That's a W, right? And I think it's just appropriate that I talk about respecting your energy levels because I think that is such a key part of growth as a person. Understanding where you're at and negotiating and talking with yourself and building yourself up, when you're not feeling super high energy and whatever. So we're talking about that in this Down Quick Thoughts episode. And as always, check out the links in the show notes and we'll just jump right into it. It's so interesting because I think of this one episode 5. Why is episode 5 so iconic? Give it a listen if you haven't already. Episode 5 is so good. It just talks about when your battery life of life goes low. And one of the tips I gave was to remember the journey you're actually on. I think this is so important because if we have our energy, right, this finite amount of energy every day, and we feel like we need to go in 1,000 different directions, we're going to run out of that energy by noon and we're going to be stupid exhausted, right? But today, I got up, I meditated for 10 minutes. It's crazy how much association and stuff influences you. I was Danny Miranda would probably meditate right now. I should probably meditate right now. And I just was yeah, I can do a 10-minute meditation in the morning. I could totally do that. And then I did some writing and played some basketball outside, did some dancing and some juggling, and got pretty sweaty. It was a good time, super good stuff. And then worked on some LinkedIn stuff, email, cold shower, all that stuff. And, now I'm kind of all right, well, I'm ready to go. I have some other stuff I'm probably going to work on, but that's kind of lower, doesn't require as much energy, So I think one of the things that really helps to consider is in the past, this activity that you are doing, that you have done, and that you will do, what are your energy levels kind of like? Give you a second to think about that. Laundry, right? So does laundry, do you associate negative feelings with laundry or dirty dishes or anything like that? When you work on those things, how do you feel about yourself and about yourself during the activity? Because as much as your brain or whatever might try to make you think otherwise, you're not the activity and you're not the result of the activity either. You're infinitely precious and everything. You really are, and it's it really helps to have some different things to help make the activity a little bit better. So for me, having a running playlist sometimes when I don't want to run, it's called Infiltration. I'll have a link to it in the show notes if you want to give it a listen. It's something that's designed for me. Same thing with my juggling playlist and my dancing playlist. I used all of those this morning just to help raise the energy levels because it is kind of a finite thing. I think one of the craziest things though is thinking that laying around is how you conserve energy. That's very false. I think there's times where, it's obviously really important. When it was lunchtime, I completely focused on my wander over yonder in Shark Tank for the next hour, and it was basically looked like I was vegging out. I was super relaxed, super comfortable and chilling, but I'd gotten 3 or 4 hours of work done before that. So I was able to completely chill, super chill. Maybe it was 2 or 3 hours. If you consider the running or the basketball and the dancing work, I guess you could. But yeah, I was just super, super chill. It's I earned this. I'm chilling as hard as I possibly can, right? And that is definitely going to help bring up those energy levels. So the first thing is really just understanding hey, where have I been with this activity? There's some jobs that I will never do, period. And a lot of it is because the negatives, even if they're less negatives than positives, so there's more positives, the negatives can be so heavy. Driving in traffic, I absolutely do not even in Utah, dude. I live in Utah right now, and sometimes it's so bad. and I start to lose my mind because of me having a little bit of ADHD and whatever. It starts to trigger because the people that we have ADHD, like, we love structure and we love novelty, right? We get none of those with long traffic lines. There's very little movement. It takes a while because everybody is crane-headed and looking, around the window at this next accident. That happens all the time, and it's because of people looking at that more accidents happen, right? I don't know. It's just like, let people do their thing. And if it's not, like, really applicable to you, like, why are you paying attention to it? There's people that will pay more attention to, like, a car crash than their child having a really rough day at school. That's despicable. That's a problem. That's not cool. I don't like that at all. So yeah, like, for me, just my energy levels, like, I know this already because I worked in door-to-door sales for a little bit and was a technician and also did door-to-door, and I would drive around a lot, and I'd get home, I'd be exhausted. And not necessarily because the work was tiring, and I mean, I was running around, so there was energy received from that, but it was just like the overall energy transfer, if we want to call it that, from the drive every single day wasn't really worth it. Like, yes, you can put on a podcast episode, you can be listening to this. I'm sure there's some people listen to this on their drive, and I do appreciate it and hope it helps elevate those energy levels. But for me, as a person, with the work I want to do ultimately in this world, I do not see myself driving 45 minutes through traffic ad nauseum all the time, and there will be days where it's like an hour or longer. I think if I'd been born 50 years ago, I don't think I really have much of a choice in that. But the thing is that I was born when I was born, and I feel like I was really born at the perfect time for what I need to do on this earth, and that's a really beautiful comfort. But, like, really understanding, like, okay, there's this past, there's these different things that I'm like, okay, that just is not happening. And also just waking up and having to scrape windshield off my car. Like, I did that at Stu Kent. I did that, on Sunday to go to church. It's not my favorite thing. I mean, I think it's okay and it's all right. And I made a whole podcast episode about, cleaning off your windshield of life, which I think is definitely worth a listen again. But yeah, it's just like, if I don't have to do this, why am I doing this? Because if it would take just like a little bit more work and a little bit more networking and a little bit more thoughtfulness to get a completely different result where I completely avoid this obstacle, then I think it's worth it. So I think one of the reasons why I feel so happy right now is because I've built up a lot of momentum from the end of the year. Like, literally last week I put out 6 podcast episodes, which I've never done that in a week. That's pat on the back for that, right? So, like, I feel really good about that. But I also have been respecting my energy levels to such a high level. I'm like even now, I was like, hey, I don't really want to record a bunch of podcast episodes. It's like, dude, that's chill. Like, you just have to do one. Like, that is completely chill. Like, I have all these videos and interviews I still need to edit, and there's other solo episodes I need to edit. But, like, with this one, it's like, well, it's not like this is my full-time job or anything like that. Like, I'm talking about hiring some people right now just to help lessen the load a little bit, because I've been really, like, spending some time, like, thinking about it. I still need to come up with, like, a word for 2023. My word for 2022, I look at it, I came up with it, the day, like, a couple days before 2022 ended, but it was, like, recommitted. That's what it was about. And I think you need to understand that this is just going to happen every day, this whole energy thing. You need sleep, you need to have food, these different activities that give you energy, Like, for me, Wander Over Yonder, I know it's a dumb show, and people can say it's a dumb show. I don't care, dude. I've rewatched it twice already. So shoot me. Don't shoot me. So yeah, that's that, I'm sorry. I don't think I'll rewatch it again until maybe like August. Maybe I'll do that, but I just recently rewatched it again, and one of the episodes I watched today was about, like, this wizard, and there's, like, this mini universe, and Wander's, like, it's, like, in this orb, and he's moving it around. It's like, dude, this is hype. I love this. It's like, I love this, because there's so much novelty in the show, because they're always going different places, and there's so much structure in it, too. They have the 2 characters and everything. It's so great, yeah. So, I think to hit, to So to finish up in the under 10-minute mark, because I want to have these down quick thought episodes to be under 10 minutes, I would just really say, like, consider where your energy is right now. Maybe write some of that stuff down. I mean, become more aware of it. Write down, like, maybe in the last 72 hours, how's your energy been? That's something that was an idea that somebody shared with me a while ago that I tried for a little bit, and it does help. It's like, okay, well, what could possibly be better? You know, well, I could get more sleep, I could get more water, I could have more predictable routines when it comes to exercise and stuff, and all of a sudden your energy is so much better. But it's like it's losing the battle to win the war. That's what this is. Like taking the little win. You know, it's like I could push myself super hard and I could get out some podcast episodes. I could be up all night tonight, but I'm not going to do that. I'm going to finish up around 6, and that's that. It's like we're just going to chill. We're just going to love it because I woke up early and I want to reward that. We get more of what we reward, right? And if we respect others, then I think we're just going to get more used to that and just do the same for ourselves. And whatever that looks like, right? Like I haven't been checking my phone until noon. I'll use like music and stuff, but I won't check messages or anything till noon. I've done that the last couple days. I'm like, bro, why haven't I done this earlier? Just get my most important thing done of the day done before noon. I'm a happy camper. You know, I could do literally nothing the rest of the day, and I mean, it's fine. It's chill, whatever. I already got like tons of stuff done today, so pretty happy with that. This episode went a little longer than I was planning. My lights are acting a little wacko, but that's fine. I think most people are listening to this, but I do have it out on YouTube as well. I'm working on that, making that happen. So anyway, links are in the show notes. Hope this episode is helpful in some way. Definitely track your energy levels more. Find some way to do that. I would highly recommend that. And yeah, just don't take yourself too seriously. Just enjoy the journey. Take it one day at a time. That's what I'm doing right now, and there's a lot of joy in that. Just breaking it down. So thank you so much for listening. Don't forget to heal today. It'll be a better tomorrow.